The transfer window is now closed, but not before Drew McIntyre joined the Blue Brand.
Perhaps the biggest acquisition of them all by GM Nick Aldis.
The following is a triple threat Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Introducing first, from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 275 pounds, Drew McIntyre.
Wade, I know like many last week, he was your pick to win the Royal Rumble. And I know he's not happy with the way things turned out there.
Yeah, the man was absolutely livid after being eliminated in the Royal Rumble, trashed a locker room, got in his car, and seemingly rode off into the sunsets, perhaps for good, until Nick Aldis, an old friend from the UK, talked Drew off a cliff and gave Drew what he deserved if he signed for SmackDown. A fair shake of things. It's all Drew McIntyre has ever asked for. Well, he's got that now, and he's got a pathway to WrestleMania if he can qualify for the Elimination Chamber match. And the smile has returned to the face of the Scottish Warrior after seemingly years of being in a downward spiral. McIntyre, for now at least, it's all just sunshine and rainbows once again. A fresh start here on SmackDown with a GM he actually respects.
You know what, Memphis? Screw Raw. Drew McIntyre's officially back on Friday Night SmackDown. You know, this past Saturday at the Rumble, after I was eliminated from behind by a coward, I went to the back. I was pretty angry. I might have torn some things up. And I got in my car and I drove from Indy back to Nashville. I slept in my own bed, full of rage, and when I woke up in the morning, something had come over me. I had clarity. I had an epiphany. I got out of my big bed in my huge house beside my hot wife, and I looked in the mirror and I went, "My God, you're jacked and handsome, Drew. Why are you so angry all the time?" And I realized I'm a product of my environment. Raw is a toxic workplace. Everybody try to stab you in the back, bunch of egos. If you're a good person, try to do the right thing and tell him the truth. You're apparently the bad guy, and that bald idiot Adam Pearce has no idea what he's doing. So now I can see clearly. I needed a solution, and that's when my phone rang. Nick Aldis, and I've known Nick since we were teenagers, and he told me, "Drew, I want you on SmackDown, and I promise no more BS. You can finally be unleashed. Drew will be allowed to be Drew 100%. So why am I here? I'm here for you, Cody. Not specifically you. What you've got, what was stolen from me, what is mine. I'm here for the WWE Championship. So,
well, one twin has already booked his spot at WrestleMania.
Is it me? Tell me it's not just me. Tell me it ain't just me. Every single week, though, you come out here, you're living in the past, bruh. You sound like an ex-girlfriend. Yeah, you're complaining. They stole something from me. Homie, nobody stole it. You lost. All right? And you out here He's literally standing out here, acting like you don't gotta earn your spot tonight, Uso. Tonight, you gotta get through me. You gotta get through LA Knight. Tonight, I'm here to earn mines. Yeah.
That's cool. A couple of weeks ago, I would be angry about everything you just said, but I'm a different man. I'm cool, Jay. Sorry, Jimmy. It's been 20 years, I can still barely tell you apart. Actually, it must eat you up inside. You and your brother are so similar in every single way, just as talented. And maybe you would be where he's at right now if he just said yeet first.
Hey, that's funny, Drew. Let me remind you who's standing in front of you, bruh. You see, this is big, bruh. This big Jim. If I wanted to say yeet, I could say yeet. Watch. Yeet. If I wanted to say no yeet, I could throw the no right in front of this. Watch this. So let me remind you, Woos, tonight I got to get mine. I got to punch my ticket. I got to go to Vegas. Cash them chips in. I got to get mine. See, you right. There is a difference. Jay did clock his. What about yours? Yes. So if you want to go to WrestleMania, brother, you got to get through Big Jim first. Then you got to make it to the Elimination Chamber, and you got to get through that. But tonight, I ain't living in the past. I'm right here present, ready to kick your ass. Jimmy Uso, I'm going to WrestleMania, Uso.
Oh, the megastar is making his presence felt.
Yeah! You can't have a triple threat quite yet, boys.
Let me go ahead and get right to this. Jimmy Uso, Big Jim, whatever you want to call yourself, I ain't got any love for you. You're the main reason that I didn't become WWE champion just a little over a year ago. So I ain't got any love for you, but I ain't gonna complain about it. I'm gonna make good on it tonight. But if I could for a second, I do need to say this. In my life, in my career, I want to be somebody who affects good change before I die. So I'm going to speak to all the men, all the boys here in Memphis tonight and around the world. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If something arises in your life that hits you it hits you in the feels and you have to cry, let it out. It's good for your mental health. It's good for you. It doesn't make you any less of a man. But with that said, there is a line where it becomes too much. There are 3 guarantees in this life: death, taxes, and Drew McIntyre crying like a damn baby. My God, Monday through Friday, every single week, all you do is cry. I think when I walked out here, I think I heard somebody over here call you Drew McIntyre. But let's get all the silliness out of the way and let's really think about this right now. What we're talking about right now, we're talking about WrestleMania, we're talking about Elimination Chamber, and we're talking about me giving both of you something really to cry about, which is you two meeting a 3 count just like that. All your WrestleMania hopes getting dashed, so it goes. Oh wait, I forgot to get my stuff in. Memphis, tell them whose game this is. Yeah!
Men's Elimination Chamber qualifying triple threat match. Drew, Jimmy, and L.A. Knight.
Yeah!
Next. In 3 weeks, it'll be the Elimination Chamber in Toronto at the Rogers Center, the home to Major League Baseball's Blue Jays. But for right now, compelling Men's Elimination Chamber qualifying triple threat match between Drew McIntyre, Jimmy Uso, and L.A. Knight.
Well, the early goings of this one saw L.A. Knight and Jimmy Uso team up together to completely neutralize McIntyre, but that relationship now broken down. And that plays into the hands of the massive Scotsman.
Drew McIntyre officially part of the SmackDown roster.
Well, this is ugly as hell. What a brawl that turned into between these two.
Every which way. The big chop from Big Jim. Good amount of tension from this group after Royal Rumble misfortunes among these three. Big kick from Jimmy Uso. And the uppercut. As that sends LA Knight into the corner, and then Drew rises to his feet.
There is your issue in a triple threat matchup. Never get too focused on either one of your opponents, because believe me, the other guy that you've taken your eye off is just waiting for his chance to get back in the match.
Samoan drop from Jimmy Uso into the cover, trying to get to Toronto, but of course, triple threat action. LA Knight quick to get there.
Jimmy Uso trying to shake off that perception that he's been left behind compared with twin brother Jay, who is now a bona fide main event singles player.
Knight slams down Jimmy Uso.
What a Glaswegian kiss by McIntyre, scrambling the brains of the megastar. McIntyre now spoilt for choice on which opponent he decides to finish off.
Just that sheer power. At 6'5", 275 pounds, chiseled.
And I'm still trying to get used to a Drew McIntyre seemingly floating on cloud 9 since arriving here on SmackDown. Now with his destiny in his hands, of course, both the men's and women's elimination chambers winners will go on to compete for one of the world titles at WrestleMania.
And I thought you did a great job of detailing the circumstances of how enraged he was coming off of the Royal Rumble, but yet the reset and the opportunity that Nick Aldis saw to go out and say you need a fresh start.
Yeah, he certainly did. I saw the state of the locker room that McIntyre smashed up there in Indianapolis. But he's really feeling himself once again thanks to GM Aldis.
You see Drew McIntyre, that fresh start, that confidence as he's in control here. Triple threat match, an opportunity to make it to Elimination Chamber. Oh, flying right out, suicide dive out into the floor by Big Jim.
And immediately capitalizing is the megastar LA Knight. And there's a lot of danger outside this ring.
Oh, and just slamming Drew's head into our announce desk. This bigger, newer, reinforced announce desk that has very little give to it.
The cleared mind of McIntyre might be ringing in his ears right now, and now Jimmy Uso gets a taste for good measure.
LA Knight taking it out on Jimmy Uso. And one more for good measure. Who will make it to Toronto? Don't go anywhere. Back here on Friday Night SmackDown, a big chop from Drew McIntyre into the chest of Jimmy Uso in this men's elimination chamber qualifying match, a triple threat match with McIntyre, Jimmy Uso, and LA Knight. So much on the line. The winner will join John Cena and CM Punk as we fill out the entrance for the men's elimination chamber 3 weeks in Toronto. McIntyre up high. The road to WrestleMania is underway.
All three superstars looking incredibly worn out as we are getting to the business end of this matchup. Can Big Jim get the job done here?
Has
Shut
a
up
chance
the
here.
naysayers.
LA Knight works his way back in. Of course, so much on the line with the roar to win this match. But Wade, the two guys who don't win this triple threat, their road to Mania becomes that much harder.
Yeah, incredibly murky for those that do not progress through.
Would you look at that?
Feel the Kavorka in the air. Oh, no.
Whoa! Box jump, top rope, superplex with something added by McIntyre to send both Jimmy Uso and LA Knight flying, and everybody's laid out.
Well, Drew McIntyre, such a domineering presence, even went down and seemingly out, tied up in the rope, still managing to pull off that essentially a double German suplex.
It's incredible. I mean, from that compromised position to have that level of core power for McIntyre to do that after Knight had the box jump top rope superplex cinched in.
Well, LA Knight saw his name up in lights on that one, felt the Kavorka in the air, but Drew McIntyre did not like the scent and is looking to mangle the megastar. Attempted a future shock DDT, denied.
Oh, and instead it's Knight.
Planning straight on the top of the Scotsman's head, who is now in the drop zone, starry-eyed. And without a hope.
The leaping elbow from Knight for the win. And Jimmy Uso comes in.
Well, just in the nick of time from Jimmy Uso. Take another look at this. Bullseye elbow drop there from LA Knight at 2.99. Jimmy Uso, who is highly adept at breaking up pins from his many years in the tag ranks, clearly got his timing spot on there.
Big Jim putting Knight up top.
Oh.
Looking for BFT, but instead, spinebuster, jackknife.
And that was a weak kick out there from the megastar. The smile fully gone from the face of McIntyre now. He is in the zone. This is the no mercy era of Drew McIntyre, who has to be closing in on victory now.
And the kick up, and the determination, and that look in his face. Center on those eyes, you see it all.
Well, the busted up ribs of McIntyre clearly causing some major issues. Wants to finish this as quickly as possible. This is it.
Claymore to find your way to the Elimination Chamber. Instead, it's a super kick.
Just beaten to the shot by Big Jim. And now we're down to 2.
Big chance for LA Knight.
Telegraph the backdrop.
But Jimmy Uso still rallying here. Super kick. But Jimmy Uso finds his way into the Elimination Chamber. His brother won the Rumble, and now Big Jim's trying to get to Toronto. Oh, McIntyre pulls out the referee.
And pulls away Jimmy Uso's dream of going to Toronto at the Elimination Chamber. How smart was that from McIntyre? Had no chance of breaking the pin up, and it's legal in this match.
Oh, and McIntyre is laid out over our announce desk.
No mistakes the second time around for Big Jimmy Uso.
Back up top, looking for the splash. Instead, he eats the knees, rolled up by LA Knight. And the kick out somehow, some way.
Well, that extra beat that it took Charles Robinson, the referee, to get in. Oh, BFT attempt.
Oh, man, that was a Claymore in the midst of a BFT attempt. Both men laid out. This to get to the Elimination Chamber, and he does.
Here is your winner, Drew McIntyre.
A 2-for-1 Claymore, Wade.
Well, that's what you have to do in a triple threat matchup. Beat 2 men. A BFT connecting in part thanks to Drew McIntyre's Claymore to the back of the skull of the megastar LA Knight. And now a 3rd spot in the Elimination Chamber for the men is filled.